This is homework for Monday 3-2. I want you to remember that your homework needs to include pictures. You need to label things on your picture, and you need to label with a variable what you're trying to find. So I don't care what variable you use, but pick a variable to label the thing that's unknown that you're trying to find. And remember that you should be showing your work in 4 steps, just like we did in class. This means you, Wyatt. This is the picture for problem number 1. If you were not sure how to draw the picture, and so that kept you from being able to do the problem, then at this point you should now know how to set up the problem. So turn the video off, and now that the picture is shown, set the problem up and solve it before you continue watching. So I have side C. The right angle that's being formed is right here, and it always points to C. And so I'm using the formula C squared minus B squared equals A squared. C is 12 and A is 3. When you do 12 squared, you get 144. When you do 3 squared, you get 9. And that's all equal to A squared. Now I have to subtract these. 144 minus 9 is 135 equals A squared. I don't really want to know what A squared is. That's telling me what the area of the square would be off of A, but I just want to know the side length. So I need to square root both of these. The square root of A squared is A. The square root of 135 is the square root of 135. Now this can be simplified. If you did it on your calculator and you just did the square root of 135, it would have come out to be 11.6189, on and on and on. And that's not a bad number to write on your paper, but now that you know how to simplify by simplifying radicals, I kind of want you to practice that because you're going to have to use it next year in high school. So I have to figure out what is the biggest perfect square number that can go into 135, and the answer to that is 9. 9 times 15 is equal to 135. 9 is the perfect square number, so I circle it, and circling it means I need to find its square root. So the square root of 9 is 3. That goes to the outside. I leave the 15 underneath because it's not a perfect square and I can't simplify it. So your answer could have been 11.6, but I want you to change that answer so it's in simplest radical form. It'll be a way that I know you really watched the video. If you left it as 11.61, I know you didn't really watch the video. Okay, turn the video off and do number 2. Draw your picture, set it up, and solve it. Here's the picture. That's my soccer field. It said that it was 120 meters long and 90 wide. And so this is C. It's the side I'm trying to find. Okay, so 90 squared plus 120 squared equals C squared. I have A and B. I'm trying to find C. 90 squared is 8100 and 120 squared is 14,400. Remember, still equals C squared. I don't put a number here. Add these two together and you get 22,500 equals C squared. I don't want to know what the length of the square off of this side C is. I want to know what its side is. So I square root both of these. The square root of C squared is C, and the square root of 22,500 is 150. Therefore, each player ran 150 meters. Okay, set up a picture using a variable and labeling things for number 3, and then turn the video back on and check it. Okay, this time it said that you have a 15-foot ladder and you have a 12-foot wall, and you're trying to figure out where the ladder should go. So the down here, where you should place it so that the top of the ladder exactly reaches the top of the 12-foot wall. You're trying to find out what this length is from the wall to the base of the ladder. So you have C. Here's your right angle, right here. It's pointing towards C. You have C and you have A or B. Okay, so this time it's 15 squared minus 12 squared equals A squared. 15 squared is 225. 12 squared is 144 equals a squared. Remember, I keep this as a squared. I don't find the answer yet. I subtract these two, and when I do, I get 81, and 81 is equal to a squared. That means that the square off of this line right here is 81 units squared, but I want to know what the length of the line is. So I square root 81, and I square root a squared, and that gives me a equals 9. So 9 feet is the length that should be from the base of the ladder to the wall. And you're done with Monday's homework.